Hey everybody, what is going on? Serial Lover Jab here, and today I'm playing Entropia Universe. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking about the migration event that is currently going on in Entropia Universe. So for those of you guys who don't know, the migration event in Entropia Universe is this big event that happens every summer when a few different mob types go out into Entropia and migrate across the continent. So this takes place on Calypso. That would be the planet Calypso, for those of you guys wondering. And there's basically two types of mobs that you're going to find. They're going to be Eomon and Longtooth. So Longtooth, they're going to be sort of your lower level mobs that a lot of you newer players are probably going to want to try out. And Eomon are going to be way too hard, but we will be doing a team hunt that you guys can join in on and probably get a little bit of experience just killing those guys. And for those of you guys who are wondering, the team hunt is going to be sort of basically Mindark is working with me to make the team hunt possible and just helping me out with all that. We're all going to be going out and just using whatever we've got and trying to get some loot. But yeah, Mindark is helping me out to make that video possible. And in a sense, they're helping out with this video, but this isn't exactly a video that's sponsored by them. I do want to call it out though, because I like to be sort of as transparent as possible with this stuff, right? Like if a video is sponsored, I'm gonna let you guys know, and this is me letting you know sort of where that all stands. So this video isn't sponsored, I'm not getting paid for this video, but it's helping me sort of set the stage for something that is gonna be sponsored. Anyways, here you can see I'm over by Cape Cornuth. So if you just go sort of east of the Cape, you're gonna find a bunch of players here hunting Longtooth, specifically Old Fred. Old Fred is this huge mob, level 500 and something, and it's a team, or it's a shared loot mob basically. And you see that green little button over, or whatever, that green little symbol right to the left of the mob's name. That means the loot's shared, which means if you do any damage to that mob, you get a share of the loot. Now, obviously if you're coming out here with a big gun, you're gonna get better loot than others. So basically, I'm using an LR25. For mobs like this, that's not a huge gun. If you look around here, you're gonna see a lot of really big guns being used by really sort of uber avatars. So yeah, basically the name of the game here is just to get a few shots in and get that global, get those swirlies, get a little bit of loot, but you're not going to be doing crazy unless you've got a crazy gun. It's still a lot of fun because these are probably some of the higher level mobs that you're ever going to be able to take out. So it's great to come out here and just take some shots in them, get a little PED, get a few PEDs into the pool and get some loot, right? Because you're also going to get those swirlies, which really does make it worth it. Sorry, just taking a drink there. The swirlies do make it worth it. I love getting those things. And these mobs are almost guaranteed. If you come out here for 10 minutes, you're almost guaranteed to get some swirlies. So yeah, I definitely recommend all you guys check that out. It's not going to count. It's going to count towards your codex, but it won't count towards your iron missions. So an important thing to note here, and by the way, right after this, I revive and get that global. That was the first global of the migration for me. But yeah, for those guys who don't know, iron missions are coming due soon, which means they're going to completely disappear. This thing up to the left in my screen, that's an iron mission, right? It says hunting challenge, iron, blah, blah, blah. This is for Longtooth. That's a mission that I complete in this video, right? But the iron missions are coming due, so if you've got iron missions for Eomon, Longtooth, anything like that, make sure you get them done before August, otherwise they're going to disappear and you're not going to be able to do them ever again, and you're sort of just out of luck there. So I figured that would be a good call out to make. Also, with these big Longtooth, they do area of effect damage, which means if you're just too close to them, you will get hit. So it's better to go out here with a rifle or something that has a bit of range to it rather than a sword or melee weapon. Also worth calling out, right now I'm using Ghost Armor. At some point, I'm going to switch over to Mayhem. My Mayhem Armor could definitely take some hits from these guys, so there was no problem whatsoever taking them on with Mayhem Armor, but with Ghost, it was a little questionable. The other mobs, the other Longtooth in this area are easily killable using Ghost Armor, and then LR25 with the A203 amp. If you use an LR30, you're going to be probably more than good. LR25 is a little bit too low still, but it gets the job done. If you want to be like max eco, I'd recommend LR30 or higher with an amp, of course. So that's going to be for the Longtooth. Those of you guys who are new, don't worry, I'm going to call out a newbie location that you can go to hunt some Longtooth. So the cool thing about this event is you've got Eomon, which are the high level mobs. Those are uber mobs. Like I wouldn't even dream of taking them solo. That's why we're getting this team together and we're going to make it happen. Also, if you guys are interested in the team, jump in my Discord. I'm going to sort of plan everything out through there. Ideally, we're probably going to be doing something next weekend would be my guess, but it might be earlier, it might be later. It just depends on sort of what's going on and everything like that, just with sort of the current world situation. We've got to be flexible, right? And here's a random mob that just ended up in my crosshairs. Killed that guy and got back to the big beasts. But yeah, the team hunt's going to be going on. Just jump on Discord and stay tuned there for updates. So that's where everything's going to be planned. Also, if you're looking to hunt, there's a ton of people on there that are always down to team. So feel free to like shout out there for requests. And Discord link down below in the description, guys. Check it out. Anyways, here you can see I'm running out there with my Mayhem armor. Now I'm really able to tank some hits. So if I want to come out here with this Mayhem armor, these guys can do a few hits to me and I'll still be fine. Mayhem armor is like super OP. It's super great. Shout out to Drakhill for giving that to me, hooking me up with that. Great guy. Make sure you guys check out his armor shop. There's a whole video I did on it. It's really sweet and definitely worth visiting. But yeah, it's a really good event. And as you can see here, I had quite a bit of fun with this. I think I'm in a global here, so that's going to be pretty cool. But you can see, too, if you look at the global numbers, I'm not getting any sort of, like, crazy loots or anything like that. The big thing here is you're just getting the swirlies, and it does mean that you're doing better than average, right? So I think here we go. This is going to be the global. Yep, there we go. So, yeah, you can see that was, what, like 5-6 PDs of loot? Not huge, but it's definitely more than I put in. In addition to this, here we go. I'm going to take out some of these guys. Or am I not? Give me 1 second here. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, after this mob, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go take out some Longtooth. And then you're going to see just how like those low level, level 19, level 20 sort of Longtooth do. And those are probably what your mid-range player is going to want to play. Overall, I haven't done a ton of kills yet in this sort of migration event. But the loot historically the loot's always been pretty good and it definitely hasn't disappointed. The event mobs generally do tend to loot just a little bit better, I find. But if you're looking for iron missions and you're looking for that sort of progress, you can't do it with event mobs. You need to go on and solo those mobs or get on a team and do the most damage. Again, another global. And there you can see I got 1.41 PEDs. That's a huge global, right? No, it's not. It's not a huge global at all. It's just a big team. So here you can go. Here you go. This is me taking on some of these like younger Longtooth. So you can see here, this is still like a level, what is this, level 12, I think? In the Mayhem armor, it's a bit overkill. They're basically doing no damage whatsoever. I just kept the Mayhem armor so I look cool for the video. After this video ended, right back to Ghost, because that's the best way to go. Mayhem is a high markup armor, and generally, I don't like using that high markup armor unless I really have to. It's great for killing old Fred over here because he's... I sounded a little redneck when I said that. But yeah, it's great for old Fred because he's doing a little bit more damage and I don't want to get knocked out of the game. I don't want to have to fly back, put on the Mayhem armor, and I save myself a lot of time, right? But for these younger Mayhem, like for these younger mobs, it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, overall, I had a great experience out there hunting. Again, Cape Corneth. The mobs are going to be migrating or moving, so make sure you sort of know where they are. But if you're looking at it right now, Cape Corneth or Corneth, however you say that, great place to start. Just go east of there. They're going to be migrating down south, so if you don't see them where I was, head down south a little bit. You'll probably find them. Over here, what I'm doing is I'm looking over the Eamon right here, and you can see these guys are like level 50, level 70, crazy levels, and there's some really, really like high level players here. If you're looking to go check out the Eamon, they're going to be at Minneapolis. I want to say Minneapolis, but that's definitely not it. Minneapolis is a state, not a place in Entropia universe. But Minneapolis, basically, you head down south, and you can find all these Eamon just hanging out, and all these Ubers just taking them out. And this is impressive, right? If you just fly over, you look at how high level these mobs are, and then you just see how easy some of these guys are taking them on. It is impressive. But that said, make sure you don't land, make sure you don't interfere. One of the things too, like in Entropia Universe, it can be cool to fly over areas and like check it out and all that, but if you land, you could like aggravate the mobs, and that's going to lead to hunters getting ganked by like 2 or 3 mobs at a time, which you don't want to do to someone. That's just going to be bad for your reputation, so I would advise against that. But yeah, it's really cool to check out, and for the team hunt, make sure you've got that teleporter. That's probably where we're going to be starting off. Anyways, next up, this is sort of what you new players are looking for. Here's Chung's Hideout. So Chung's Hideout, that's going to be where sort of the adolescent or the younger Longtooth are going to be spawning. So you just go sort of south of Chung's, I believe it is, or am I going north right here? No, let's see. Yeah, so you just go sort of off, what is this? Off north, I think it is. One sec, let me just check this out here. Yeah. There you go. You just go north, and then what you're going to find a bunch of green dots. You're going to find the long tooth down here, and what this is really great for, what this spawn is really good for, is if you have the long tooth missions to complete, it's going to be based on kills. That's the iron missions, right? It's based on kills. So if you want to get some really cheap long tooth kills, this is where you want to go, right? You can kill a ton of them for way less PEDs than you'd be spending if you go over to Camp Corneath, where you get those migration mobs that are actually migrating. Down here, you get a fairly stable spawn of long tooth. You can come out here with, I've got Harrier Assault Armor, which is basically the basic armor that you get with those starter packs. And look at this, I'm having no problem. LR25 does more than enough damage. You could probably be doing these things with an LR10, LR15. You'd have to upgrade your armor a little bit. So like Harrier Assault Armor and LR25, perfect. If I was going to use something like an LR15 or LR10, I'd probably want a little bit more like Pixie Armor with plates or something like that. But these are super easy mobs to kill, and they still do count towards your iron missions. So if you're looking to complete your iron missions, guess where you want to come? Right out here. In addition to that, while I was running through these iron missions, I did manage to get a few levels on those codex, or on my codex, which is really cool to see, because now again you're doubling up on the skills, right? I'm getting those codex mission skills and those iron challenge skills, and that's so essential right now, especially because these things are going to be ending. So if you guys are at all interested in getting better in Entropia Universe, make sure you double up on your missions and get all those iron missions complete. Anyways, this is it for me, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, peace.